Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. Today, Botswana joins the international community to commemorate the United Nations Human Rights Day. This commemoration is observed annually on the 10th of December, which is a day on which the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. Ladies and gentlemen, I am highly honored and privileged to deliver this year's commemoration statement under the theme, Dignity, Freedom and Justice for All. The theme comes at a time when Botswana has positioned herself to being amongst the benchmarks in the attainment of the right to access justice for all. This imperative has been set as a critical part of the country's National Vision 2036, which challenges us to stand out in our quest towards the redress for human rights violations. A theme of this nature directs us to reflect on the factors and indicators that defines what dignity means for us, what freedom and justice for all would entail for us, and keep us in check as we achieve the same. For this reason, our national agenda encapsulates the values presented in the theme without fail. This year alone, government through its transformational agenda realigned organizations giving birth to the Ministry of Justice, which serves as a focal point to ensure justice for all. Through this, we continue as a country to ensure efforts that see to it that all individuals in the country access justice and that all players in the economy execute their services in a way that dignifies the people and enhance human rights. Ladies and gentlemen, I observe that this commemoration runs during the 16 days of activism against violence on women and children. This aligns with our status as a party to the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination against Women, where Botswana has committed to ensuring the progressive realization of gender equality and non-discrimination. In addition, this year's commemoration of the International Human Rights Day comes at a time when Botswana is undergoing a transitional phase which involves undertaking reforms aimed at ensuring that developments are responsive to issues such as poverty, inequality, and slow economic growth, which have a direct effect on the dignity of citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is making strides towards a human rights-based approach to development planning and implementation. Therefore, our greatest response is that which always seeks to identify if inclusion of citizens for their benefit is realized in all that we do. Without doubt, there is a direct correlation between human rights and economic development. Ladies and gentlemen, considering that the commemoration of the International Human Rights Day serves an important purpose for countries to reflect on the achievements in the area of human rights in a given year, allow me to highlight Botswana's notable achievements in the year 2022. Botswana has been working to maintain her international acclaim as the shining example not only in Africa but the world over through a response to the various international conventions and treaties we are party to. Various government portfolios have stood out across local, international, and regional fora to address needs that are fundamental to the realization of human rights. To date, through my ministry, Botswana has participated in engagement with the Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, reporting at the Committee Against Torture, the EXCOM of the High Commissioner on Refugees, as well as the Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. It is also worth noting that such engagement affirms our responsiveness and accountability to our human rights agenda. So far, Botswana is one of the countries which have an up-to-date reporting status at the United Nations Human Rights Treaty bodies, a commendable status achieved through determination, dedication, and discipline. The country intends to continue to work with both local and international bodies to develop capacity whilst we continue implementing recommendations issued to us in our plight to respond to those areas that we are obliged to respond to within our sovereign independence. With respect to legislative developments, ladies and gentlemen, the Parliament of Botswana passed various pieces of legislation, including the Media Practitioners Bill of 2022. This act, which was drafted in consultation with relevant stakeholders, seeks to, among other things, promote the freedom and independence of the media. At the same time, the country has been going through a comprehensive constitutional review which covered the whole country. There are, of course, numerous notable policies and strategies which we cannot exhaust here, which have formed the basis for the promotion of services, programs and projects with direct bearing on the need to enhance the dignity, freedoms, and extension of justice across the country. Let me extend my appreciation to all non-state actors, including development partners, who continue to take an active and supportive part in the promotion and protection of human rights in Botswana. Indeed, your efforts go a long way in positioning us to be competitive and relevant in this area. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I wish all the stakeholders a beautiful and reflective commemoration of the 2022 International Human Rights Day and a memorable and successful execution of their activities on this occasion. I thank you all for your kind attention. Pula.